He does want to see the conclusion of Bunny versus Trigger, but again, they're 27 minutes into the game, a very long game state. Best of luck to both Trigger and Bunny as we are jumping into our fresh series. And spawning in the top left hand corner of Abyssal Reef, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Twisted Minds. It is Classic. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Gen G Esports. It is a Trap. Here we go. So we are going to be settling in and embracing our mirror matchup. Again, both Classic and Trap have been going back and forth over the past couple of weeks. We'll see who comes out on top this time, as our probes are moving out. We have seen a rise in popularity of the Max Packs opener. We've seen Hero embrace it. I'm curious if both Classic and Trap are willing to do the same. So my eyes are on their openers. Gases are being taken. Probes move out. And we should be seeing our second gateways. Should be. Never mind. Okay, so both players are going to be embracing a gate into Cybercore opener. Now, this makes the most sense on Abyssal Reef, even though there's no... the natural base isn't as secure because of how long the rush distance is and because of how narrow this entry point is. Despite there being two entrances, it is quite narrow nonetheless, so both players are going for economic openers. Let's go. So double gas, we do have our Cybercore on the way. This typically leads into a Stargate and then into an expansion. Players can try to skip their Stargates if they see an opportunity to take their base. We can see here that Classic, he is on top of this natural. He's attempting to delay with the pylon block. Meanwhile, Trap across the map is doing the same. And this should force out Stargates. And if both players open up Stargate, that is when Phoenix Wars begin. Cybercore's done. Shows the take of choice. There it is, Stargate for Trap. Classic should be throwing down his own. There it is, Stargate for Classic as well. So both players open up Stargate, both players should confirm this as well with their probe scouts, and both players should then make Phoenixes. And then they won't stop making Phoenixes. This is how Phoenix Wars begin. This is how they begin. Trappy probe scouted, he confirmed, he saw the Stargate. Meanwhile, Classic is doing the same. Classic, yep, he checks in, he confirms, and this is where we begin those Phoenixes. Now, trying to break out of Phoenix Wars is not impossible, but very difficult. Very difficult. We could see a player get up to like 3 Phoenixes and then go for a Twilight Council into Blink, and then try to go for a hard switch into Blink Stalkers, but that is still very difficult to pull off. As there it is, Phoenix production has begun. The Phoenix Wars are upon us. Let's go. Let us go. So now we are going to be settling in. We are going to be diving in. We do have the Phoenixes pushing in towards the main. Oh, going for the Adept. Adept will fall, trying to give some high ground vision. But so far, Classic is holding his own. Sorry, just a little bit distracted. Likewise, Phoenixes are building up. We do see both players throwing down their second Stargate, so both players are embracing mass Phoenix production. Checking the units tab here, we do have an even Phoenix count, 3 and 3. And typically the way Phoenix Wars work is one wrong move, one wrong step, and if you lose one Phoenix early on, that'll cost you the game. Typically, it'll cost you the game then and there. So it's a very unforgiving dynamic. As Trap does dive in. Does threaten a dive. Adept is going to go down. Trap, oh, gets a couple of shots off. Does shuffle. Nice movement here from our players. No major losses. Trap did lose an Adept, but both players, they preserve their Phoenixes. As Trap does move out across the map. Again, it's all about stacking. Once you stack, you do line up your initial shot, and you can one-shot a Phoenix. Likewise, if you get caught out unstacked, you will lose the Phoenix ahead of time. So you can see here both players doing the best they can to stack their Phoenixes. To stack up that first shot, that first volley. You don't want to get caught out. Likewise, Phoenix counts. Still neck and neck. Oh, trap is stacked. Taps in. Oh, they both lose one. Even trade. Stalker is going to support. And with that, Classic doesn't have enough. Oh, 2 and 2. Both armies back up. Trap diving in once in, gets an extra Phoenix. Very nice trade. And with that, that's going to be a 3 to 5 trade. Trap, he does out-trade Classic. In the end, Trap has a 2 Phoenix lead, a 2 Phoenix advantage. Now, because the map is so large, it still takes extra time for those Phoenixes to arrive. So even though technically Trap has more Phoenixes, they're still in production. They're still en route across the map. But Trap is built up, and now he might just go for the kill. Both players taking up towards Phoenix range with that fleet beacon. Oh! Trap, he can commit. We'll bleed out a couple of Phoenixes. Trap trying to push in. Does overextend, though. Yeah, this is not a good fight here for Trap. He has to back up, has to retreat. Oh, he's going to lose a lot here in the process. Trap still has that barely Phoenix advantage here, 5 to 4. Trap taking a third. Meanwhile, Trappy pylon blocks. So pylon blocking like this is actually very powerful in this matchup, or in this dynamic, just because you have so little on the ground. There's just the one Stalker, so it takes a long time to kill a pylon and a long time to expand. You can see Trap, he has to run in a pylon here towards the 4th. And he almost go on here towards the backup 3rd. Classic will expand. Classic expansion is delayed. Both players embracing Phoenix range, and now this is going to be the next big power spike. There's going to be a small window where Classic has range and Trap does not. Likewise, following this is going to be a window where one of these 2 players has the Mothership and the other does not. Like, the Mothership does have its role in Phoenix Wars. We'll see how this goes. See who this does favor. Classic moving out. Oh! Trade with the army. No bleed out of Phoenix. Better stuff for Classic. Forcing Trap back. Likewise, getting to the mineral line. Gets 5, gets 6 probes. Very nice damage. And Trap, he does commit. He does engage. Yeah, we'll take the better fight, and he will catch Classic out. Classic has to get the hell out of here. He may have gotten some workers, but it's going to cost him the Phoenixes. Trying to reinforce. Nice shuffling there by Trap. Ooh, takes out another. Yeah, this may just be too much. Takes out another and another. Once again, shuffling his units back. There's no shield battery behind this. There's no support. And it will take down every single Phoenix. And GG gets called. That's going to be far too many losses. And Trap will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Trap will take a lead in the series. Again, just catching Classic out. And was able to out-trade him a couple too many times there, catching up those Phoenixes. Of course, we saw the big moment was when Classic did get into the mineral line. Sure, he killed 6 pros, but he lost 2 Phoenixes in the process. And that was the beginning of the end. Then and there, just a really rough engage. Classic lost too much too quickly. GG. GG, well played. With that, Trap takes a lead, and now we're getting into game number 2. And a lot of this will come down to the map of choice. That does signify, you know, which builds and which openers are much more viable, much more lucrative. And we might be entering Phoenix Wars for a second time. Game 2, map 2 is going to be on Neon Violet Square. Oh boy, again, it is Classic's map of choice. It is the loser's pick. And Neon Violet Square is the largest map in the map pool. Is the largest map. So the same reasons as to why you would want to go for something like a Phoenix opener, or sorry, a Stargate opener, and a more economic build as on Abyssal, is kind of there on Neon Violet Square. I say kind of. What I will say is that the natural base of Neon Violet Square is less defendable than that of Abyssal Reef. The reason for this is because the ramp coming into the natural on Neon Violet Square is larger than that on Abyssal Reef. Likewise, the other attack path coming into the natural is also a little bit more larger as well. So because of that, I'm curious if either player opens up 2-gate instead. We'll see. I'm curious if that's enough of a deterrent, or if they go for the same build nonetheless, and then we enter Phoenix Wars. It's possible. It is possible. Here we go. Yeah, getting into our next game. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neo Violet Square, we have the blue Protoss player from South Korea. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back. Representing Twisted Minds, it is a classic. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Protoss player representing Gen G Esports. It is Trap. Here we go. So we are going to be settling in. And we have our gateways on the high ground once again. And the question becomes, do we open up 2 gates or gate into Cybercore? Now, this is the natural that we were speaking of. Again, the ramp coming into it is is a little bit larger. Likewise, going for a proxy here is still very much so viable as well. So, does either player try to cut corners and open up economically? I'm curious. As we can see, Trap is already going to be scouting on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, Classic goes straight across the map. 2-gate opener. 2-gate opener out of Trap. Classic going for the gate into Cybercore. Okay, we have some differing builds here. Trap can go for a proxy pylon, can even try to set up for a 1-base all-in. What's the plan? Where are we dropping? If the pylon gets thrown down here, outside of this debris, we could see a proxy Stargate to get ahead economically. Yeah, as the pylon looks like it's going to be placed. And this is a prime location for a Stargate. Meanwhile, Classic going for the Cybercore into a faster expansion. So Classic is going to be a little bit more economic early on. He's going to be the defender. Trap is going to be the aggressor. And Trap has yet to, I mean, he hasn't even scouted. Doesn't even know what's going on. Doesn't even care. Does not even care here. Meanwhile, Stargate's on the way. As we mentioned, a prime proxy Stargate location. Meanwhile, Classic going for his own Stargate opener, which is to be expected. Stargate into Nexus. If Classic believes he's being all in, then he can make a Void Ray. You can see he's checking for any proxy locations here towards the left and towards his own pocket base. That is the other big feature of Neo Violet Square, is the pocket expansion. And with this proxy, Trap should be opening up Oracle. Should be going for an Oracle opener. Meanwhile, Trappy does pylon block. Nicely done. Will delay the expansion. Adepts are moving out across the map. They do head through the pachinko machine. Let's see it. Let's go. Oracle should be soon on the way here. There we go. Just waiting for that gas. And we'll see what Trap can get done. As he will be threatening a shade. Classic is in position. Ready for the pylon block. Adepts say shade in. Pylon. Oh! More shield battery gets thrown down. Just in time. We come into shade. We get 1 probe. We get 2. 2 probes go down. Oracle will activate. Trap gets the hell out of there, but we'll lose 1 adept in the process. We'll lose both adepts. Nice cleanup here. Another best trade from Trap. 2 adepts for 2 probes. He was hoping for a little bit more. Meanwhile, Trap does head towards the main. And can he reciprocate, or can he make up for that? There's 1 Stalker, but just the 1. Probes are going down. Void Ray's on the way. Oh, but the kills are stacking up. Getting up to 7 probe kills already. Getting up to 8. 8 probes go down. 9. The Oracle gets thrown away. Was that worth it? I mean, 9 probes is good. But the Oracle does fall. Meanwhile, across the map, Trap in position, has a shield battery. Oracle dives in into the mineral line, but the shield battery is ready. And the Oracle does nothing. All it takes is 1 shield battery. Trap was ready. Trap going for a second Oracle into a Phoenix. A Void Ray is looking for the proxy. And should be able to come across it. Oh, yet to do so though. His scouting is checking. There we go. Does find the proxy. And we'll shut it down. But at least Trap did make the Phoenix, which means he can hunt down the Oracle. Speaking of, Oracle has to get the hell out of here. Races back home. Second Phoenix is denied. Stasis went off, catching 3 probes. You see Trap transitioning, and Trap does have a worker advantage. 24 probes here to 21. So the Oracle harass was worth it. Likewise, players are taking up. Classic has yet to throw down his own tech. He's actually going to be committing a little bit harder here. He's moving out with 2 Stalkers, a Void Ray, 2 Oracles as well, rallying everything across the map. And this is going to be a really awkward timing. Can he catch Trap with his pants down? Trap has a shield battery. He has a stasis as well. Classic is committed. He's going to be pushing in. Stasis. Ooh, does go up. Does catch the Stalkers, but it may not matter. Yeah, the Void Ray just goes to town. The shield battery does put in a lot of work, though, keeping that Stalker alive. We'll pull back. The Void Ray will fall. Likewise, double Oracle into the main. But Trap, he holds. He's holding on. He shuts down the Void Ray, shuts down the Stalker, and he can clean up whatever is left. It can clean up. Nice snipe there from Classic. Takes down one of the Stalkers, takes down another. Trading as best he can. Across the map. Oracle just popped off. Yeah, that was not worth it for Classic. Now Classic is far behind in the economy. He's down in workers. He lost his Void Ray, lost most of his army. Getting into Phoenixes behind this, at least attempting to. Handful of Phoenixes and an Oracle. And the Dream. Classic has got a lot of work to do. And against that shield battery, I don't think he can. Maneuvering past the base, past the army. Catches one probe. Stalkers, they respond. Phoenix dives in, going for the Oracle. Oh, the Oracle goes down just in time. Stasis Trap does not complete. Ay, ay, ay. Nothing going well here for Classic. Not like this. He's going to be chased down. Trap just getting a little bit cavalier there. Has to back off. Getting a third. Classic's stuck on 2 bases. He's down 8 probes. Now working towards Immortal production. Which means Classic, he does relinquish map control. He's going to be getting into Immortals, so he's going to be playing more defensively. Will eventually take a 3rd base, and Trap can just have free reign of the bases from here, of Neo-Violet Square, of the map. He just have free reign. Likewise, rotating over, pushing towards the natural. Trap is getting ready to push in. And he could try to break this. The force fields are going to make things awkward. It's 2 sentries, 2 force fields. And the energy overcharge as well. Trap trying to sneak in. Where are the force fields? And not in time. 1 sentry goes down. Ooh, going for the Phoenix. Gets a Phoenix, gets a sentry as well. Won't quite break his opponents, but, I mean, decent pickoffs nonetheless. As he does blink away. Does get out of there, diving back in. Catches out the Immortal. He gets 1, and now there's just 1 left. Yeah, 1 is left poised to being pulled in a moment of desperation. And Classic trying desperately to hold on. He will buy some time. But Trap, he wants to dive in, takes down the Phoenix. Doesn't break Classic though. He's barely holding on. Reinforcements on the way. Again, Trap getting his 3rd. Getting his 3rd expansion. Setting up a proxy. Pushing in once again, looking to see what he can get. Dipping in towards that mineral line. Oh, he just blinks in. He just dives. Yeah, no fear. Takes down the Immortal, gets 1, lifts the other. And he will snowball out of control from here. GG gets called, and Trap will take the series 2-0. Will advance on into the quarterfinals. GG. GG, well played. Trap will claim the series 2-0. Again, a very intense PvP, not a dynamic we see too often. I did appreciate it. So Phoenix Wars in game 1, and here in game 2 we saw something very different. Going for the initial proxy, we saw the counterattack at a Classic. Again, very awkward counterattack just because we're on Neo-Violet Square. In the end, Trap did snowball out of control. GG, well played. And we have our next series. We have our next opponents up next in the quarterfinals. It's going to be a series between Trap and Rogue. Let's go. Let us go.